Good morning, everybody. How are you? I hope you are doing well in this final session, maybe, because in the afternoon you will have a student presentation, I think, and you already prepared the presentation this morning. So I hope now you can try to focus on our next session. So in this session, we will have two lecturers, and they will tell you about student internship in BRIN. So I would like to I don't know, maybe brief explanation about BRIN. BRIN is yeah, as you already know, it is a research institution in Indonesia, and every year a lot of students come to BRIN to have either the work of their thesis, or maybe to have an internship. And today we will have Dr. Rifki Sadikin. He will present about the research internship in Research Center for Computing. And for the second one, we will have a presentation from Dr. Rhorom. He is from Research Center for Space. So I think Dr. Rifki is already in here. And Dr. Rhorom will give the presentation through the video, because he is in the journey now, and maybe he will participate with us during the question and answer session. So Dr. Rifki, can you show your video maybe, or presentation?
Yeah. Selamat pagi. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Dr. Rifki.
So maybe I will. So can I start, or should we wait?
Yeah, you can start now. You have maybe 40 minutes for the presentation.
10 minutes.
40.
Oh, too much.
Oh,
I think
if it's
I will just deliver
10 minutes, it's okay.
because
Yeah.
The materials actually not
Not
just
really long.
information for the
Yeah.
Pusat Riset Komputasi, and then procedures for doing the thesis or final projects at Pusat Riset Komputasi or in BRIN general. So maybe I would like to start by saying Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody. Today I will present the profile of the Pusat Riset Komputasi first, and how it related to the current virtual conference. So I think I will share the slide. Oh, tapi kok begini sih? Malah kebuka yang ini. So, as we in the beginning of this year's, on March 2022, National Institute, National Research and Innovation Agency, or known as BRIN, Badan Riset Inovasi Nasional, where it is the integrations of several research agencies in Indonesia, include Indonesian Institute of Sciences, BPPT, LAPAN, and Batan, now are being integrated in the agency named Badan Riset and Inovasi Nasional. And on this year's, on March, the restructurings of the research organization also happened, and BRIN has, I think, eight research organizations, from life science, health science, social science, religions, economics, social science, and so on. I think now it's 12 research organizations, which comprise many fields, including the research organization of electronics and informatics, where the Research Center for Computing are joined are members of the research organization of informatics and electronic and informatics. So the research center also formed at that time on March 2022. The name of the research center is Research Center for Computing. So what is the differentiate between the Research Center of Computing with others research centers? So we are focusing on the computation tools. We research and innovate on the computational model or computational methods for certain research for certain fields. For example, we have research problem in life sciences, where now the in silico modeling or simulation or bioinformatics are becoming important tools. And other part is research problem in physics, like how we can simulate something from physics problem, and so on. So the research centers' main theme are model and method of computing. How we can translate scientific problems into mathematical model, and what methods we can use we can innovate on the methods based on the model we choose. For example, for model, there are several models of the computation, like a linear model or and so on. And for computation method, we have, like, for example, numerical methods and so on. Even the statistical also can be one of the tools that we can investigate. And the other things is, how about the computational optimization and implementation? Means that we have technologies in the computing, and now we have, I think in the current era, we have CPU based, and the CPU also have many cores and also have many philosophy of design. Example, if we use Intel based, usually it is complex instruction set CPU, and but now they also develop many core CPU. So if we have a platform of the server, we can have dual processor with up to 64 cores of CPU, and also we have like a graphical processing unit where the processor based on the reduced instruction set. And in this field, the computational optimization implementation, the problem is how to translate the mathematical model or the mathematical method into the machines, or then we have to create algorithms and we have to optimize the computational apparatus to achieve some goals, whether the effectivity or the efficiency based on the cost, computational cost, and also memory cost. I can give you an example that we have experience on the implementing the computation model method into the parallel algorithm. For example, for a certain problem in physics, for example, the space charge problem, which translate into the mathematical equations in the partial differential equations, and then we can use the numerical methods from the, for example, multi-grid method to solving the problem, and then the algorithms are being created so it can be run in the high performance computing platform. So the research centers are focusing on this area, and actually we still need to like growing the community or growing the research staff in the research centers, and I think it is still far from ideal, and we are working on that. So we do the we urge the staff to do collaboration, and we are lucky now. We have researchers from astronomy backgrounds then can collaborate with the academicians or students or researchers in the science field. So most of the researchers now in the research center for computing are focusing on this field. As we know that now the computing is one of the method, even it is scientific method to prove or to do scientific investigation, and I think many fields now becoming depend on the computing before looking to the real data or real laboratory works. So we have several research groups at the Research Center for Computing. The first one is bioinformatics and computing for life and health sciences. We have, I think, 3 PhD in this field. One is biologist systems, expert on the biology systems, and then networks biological system, where they want to model and simulate the transport signals transport between the cells. And we also have several researchers who work on the bioinformatics, where we want to innovate and inventions on the sequence analysis or processing and the implementation on the high performance computing environment. As we know that now I think in the life science field or health science field, they are producing a lot of data. Even we can call it big data, since they can we not with the technology now we can sequence into the level of the genomics, and it produce very large data. And according to the biochemistry dogma, actually all the living creatures, from the bacteria to human, are subject to this law, where the cells contain DNA, and DNA are translated to the RNA, RNA translate to the code of the protein, and protein translate to something that we can call phenotype, like the color of our eye, the color of our skin, and so on. So the dogma actually related to the computing system, because in the computing system actually is the symbolic processing, where the input are symbol, and we have to process the symbol into the another symbol which have meaningful information. So now this field we are actually in the beginning phase, but I think this would be challenging for the research centers to do avant-garde research, or also to create something computing tools for which is can be used in the practical terms on the life or health science research. And the second research group focus on the model and simulation. We have, I think, here 3 PhD. One Nida, she is expert on the wave simulation, sea surface wave simulation, especially in the open sea. And also we have we have researchers who the fields are in the computational fluid dynamics. Here with different, this is the computing fluid dynamics, where the behaviors of the fluids are being modeled, and also this now we are focusing on the maritime environment, for example, for the modeling of the seabed fluid structure and seabed interaction, which would be useful in many fields, and especially on the modeling of Earth-based disasters like tsunami or earthquake, and so on. And here we also have few researchers, but we have I think the team are also productive. We name the research group as computational astronomy, or maybe astronomy and astrophysics. But I the head of the group is Pak Ibnu. He is one of the speaker today. The scope of the research group are model and simulations in the problem of astronomy, like planets or astronomical objects simulations, dynamics, and also how to analyze the data from the telescope, whether it is radio or other things. Actually, I remember how the computing are important aspect for this field also, beside the bioinformatics, as I mentioned before, because the astronomy science base are producing very large data. If we have a big telescope or other data acquisitions for astronomical object, it usually producing large data in order of peta or exabyte. Then we have to do some analytical studies, to do some processing, to extract the knowledge from the data. So I think that this field would be growing, and of course we need collaboration, because we have only few people in this group, even only one PhD, Ibnu only, and we are open with the postdoctoral positions in the research centers. And we have also like chemics computational, but I think their problem is very different with this conference. And also we have like we call it knowledge engineering. It's actually the field in the computer science where we want to represent knowledge as computational graph or discrete mathematics. And the last group are working on the high performance computing, where they implement or creating algorithm of parallel algorithm in hybrid environment, like multi-node or multi-core or in graphical processing unit. So we are open of collaborations in the field of research. I think I would like to introduce some of programs in the deputy of research facilitating. So we have in BRIN now, we have two groups. One, we call it deputies of some things, where their jobs are more on the managing the funding, managing the infrastructures. And in principle, the deputies of at BRIN are working for not only for the research organizations at BRIN. So they work for Indonesian people, BRIN or non-BRIN. So if there is a program of the, like for example, funding, so it is open for all, not only open for the research institution under BRIN. And also the opportunity of the like scholarship is also open to to all researchers or academicians or students in Indonesia. So first, I think I would like to share about the RISNOV pendanaan or funding. So we have BRIN has different schema for research funding, and now are being organized by like specific objective, and we have to know the scope of the funding and also what is the objective of the funding. For example, here we have like funding named Pusat Kolaborasi Riset. So actually, it is a good opportunity for researchers which background on the what you I think is basic science, because what I saw that from the 10 of pusat collaboration riset who are accepted from 200 proposals, most of them are whether it is basic science or something like promising on producing products. So if our groups are working on the basic science where it is like astronomy, or then it is I recommended to do some proposal on pusat kolaborasi riset. So this funding can be used for like management. So it can be used for like discussions, workshop, or focusing research, focusing research, group discussion, and so on. So this actually are the pusat collaborations are given to non-BRIN. So if I think in the current phase, the Bandung Institute of Technology received two grants of pusat kolaborasi riset. One is physics on the quantum technology. The other is graph and mathematical sciences. So I think if researchers from astronomy can also apply this grant, so we can like we can manage a program and also can have like projecting how many students, PhD students or master degree students will be produced in the next years, and what kind of activities that we can do. So this is the pusat kolaborasi set, and we have also like hari layar. Hari layar means that people who join the expeditions in the open sea. And then there is funding for expedition and exploration. So for this is, I think most of them are related to the life sciences. And we have like funding for the health innovations product. So it is actually a clinical trial, and also have funding for the startup company based on the technology. And also we have like this research and innovation untuk Indonesia Maju. This actually funding for research, and everybody can apply, not limited to the BRIN, and so on. So this is the funding opportunities at BRIN. Besides the, so I will tell you about BRIN organization. So we have deputy of for funding. The deputy is deputy for research facilitation and innovation. But for the human development, we have deputy for human resources, science and technology, or we call it SDMI, Sumber Daya Manusia Iptek. So the funding for human development are also open for all, not only open for BRIN. And we have a program on the by research for master degree or doctoral degree by research, and then we also have opportunity to do postdoctoral. So if you are still not in, you still are still free, you can apply to the research centers and do some postdoctoral works on the research center. And for postdoctoral, BRIN will give a stipend. I think the amount is like 10 million rupiah. And I think I forgot the site, but okay, managementtalenta.id. So if you want to do some to know what programs are now being the opportunities for the funding, we can see here there is postdoctoral, visiting researchers, research assistant, and also maybe I will show you by research. And this also managed by SDMI. So this is open to all. This for the master or PhD degree, and this one is for the postdoctoral or visiting researchers. And here, I think they also list many program like barista, bantuan riset tahun akhir for those who already in the final years in the master degree or PhD degree can apply this scheme. So these are provided by BRIN for are open to everybody, not only for BRIN only. And the second part, no, the third part, the one part I already explained the funding opportunities. The second part is human resource development opportunities at BRIN. And the third part is about the doing final projects at a research center for computing. So the procedure actually we can can go to ELSA BRIN Go ID. So here, ELSA is mean layanan science or science services provided by BRIN. You can see there is some services on laboratory services like this, karakterisasi lanjut, and so on. This is SEM, chromatography, and so on. You can find everything here related to the laboratory services. And also, if you want to use the SPC BRIN, you can go to the ELSA here and just apply apply the service. For the SPC, actually, there is rather different after we apply, then the administrator will create the account, and now you can use the SPC at BRIN, but only for research. So besides the research facility, people can also do applications on the pembimbingan tugas akhir. So this is joint supervising with professors at universities. So for example, if you want to do some final years thesis or projects, and can go to these pages, and then search the pusat komputasi. Here we have we open joint supervisings on the several fields. If you are interested doing some computational astronomy, then you can choose these services. Then if the researchers are agreed, and also supervisors at university are agreed, then you can do research for final projects at our research centers. So for the application is just do the application. But if you don't have ELSA account, actually there is if you click login, and if you don't have the account of ELSA, just fill the form, and then you can log in with your email and do some transaction there for the supervising or so on. And also, actually, we beside for the final projects, we also provide internship for the student. Here also same, just go to the bimbingan tab, and you can see here pemagangan siswa dan mahasiswa, and choose komputasi. And here we provide pemagangan with several fields. And then for MBKM, we also have MBKM is like you do some internship, but in the long terms, and we give the the grade. But this actually should be there should be like MOU or perjanjian kerjasama between university and BRIN as required by Kementerian Pendidikan. So I think I already introduced several opportunities at BRIN, whether it is funding. So for funding, we have Risnov Pendanaan. For funding to human resource development, you can go to by research BRIN here. Or if you want to do postdoctoral and other things, you can go to the management talenta BRIN. And the last one is about the internship and joint supervising in research center for computing. So I think that concludes my presentations. Thank you all. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rifki, for nice presentation. So for the next one, we'll have a video from Dr. Rhorom, who will present about the Research Center for Space. And after that, there will be a question and answer session. Okay, maybe the committee, can you play the video now?
Good morning. My name is Rhorom Priyatikanto, and I'm a researcher at the Research Center for Space, National Research and Innovation Agency. We can call it RCS, okay? Previously, my office belonged to the National Institute of Aeronautics and Space, or LAPAN. But since September 2021, it is integrated into BRIN. I am also an alumnus of the astronomy program of the Institute of Technology Bandung. I spent almost 10 years there to achieve my bachelor's, master's, and doctoral degrees there in astronomy. Recently, I'm a visiting researcher at the University of Southampton, United Kingdom, mainly because my wife pursues her doctoral degree here. At this very moment, I am on travel with uncertain internet connection, such that I prepare this video instead of presenting live through the Zoom app. Okay, I'm sorry for that. Anyway, I'd like to deliver some information that may be relevant and important to you after you enrich your brain with knowledge about computation in astronomy and astrophysics. Maybe some of you plan to spend some time joining our research internship program in the future. As a matter of introduction, I need to mention that the RCS was established in 1980s with the ionosphere and the propagation of radio waves as its core competencies. The horizon was then expanded to include solar physics and magnetospheric physics, as they are intertwined in the context of space weather. Under BRIN, we are part of ORPA, or Organisasi Riset Penerbangan and Antariksa, or Research Organization on Aerospace. This organization is led by Dr. Robertus Herudri Harjanto. He is a satellite engineer, but he has very excellent skills in some things. Together with 4 other research centers, there is our RCS. Dr. Sungging Mumpuni is now acting as the director of these research centers. Under his leadership, RSC runs 4 research groups with various scopes. Firstly, the space weather group led by Clara Yatini consists of a bunch of researchers with some expertise. They include solar physics, geophysics, and also the data science. Most of the time, the group deals with energetic solar phenomena and their effect on Earth, space weather, and human activity on the surface. Secondly, the ionosphere group is led by Geo. This group sets focus on the dynamics of the ionosphere, which is affected by solar flares, geometric storms, and the dynamics of the ionosphere below. How the total electron contents and other measures vary by time is the main course for this group. The third group is the astronomy and astrophysics group, which is relatively new. While growing, this group deals with both optical and radio astronomy and also some issues that are more closely related to our society, such as timekeeping and calendar, crescent moon, and also twilight observations. Lastly, we have a satellite anomaly and space debris group led by Dr. Nizam Ahmad. This group is more concerned about the effect of space weather on satellite operations and also space debris identification, monitoring, and also risk mitigations. So we will have a sustainable practice for such space technology. Each group has equitable access to resources and facilities provided by BRIN, while collaboration with external parties, external university or research organization is highly supported. Currently, there is a funding scheme called Rumah Program, where researchers can apply for funding the research in some defined research topics. In the area of space science, strategic issues such as space weather and space debris are listed in Rumah Program. So, what are we doing recently? There are some topics I will present. The first, in solar physics, our works aim to understand the mechanism of flares and coronal mass ejections. Most of our works are more data-driven. It means that we collect the data, we acquire data using our own telescope or the telescope or observatories which are operated internationally. And then we perform a data analysis to extract some information. But of course, the modeling part is not entirely left. I believe you have learned from Dr. Johan Muhammad a couple of days ago about how computer models help us to understand the solar phenomena. Some are implemented in these works. As examples, these figures are from Muhammad et al. 2022, and some others are from Utama et al. 2021. We do image processing and feature detection to identify and characterize solar active regions. Solar active regions are mainly the source of energetic phenomena like flares and solar, coronal mass ejections. Subsequently, the variability of those regions is monitored in a specific way to understand their behavior. One example here is related to the solar eclipse. During the 2016 solar eclipse, which was observable in Indonesia, there were some observation campaigns to obtain some key parameters of the ionosphere. Multiple instruments were utilized, including ionosonde, GPS receiver, automatic link establishment or ALE, and also atmospheric radar were used during that campaigns. Based on those kind of observations, we explore the behavior of the ionosphere before, during, and after the eclipse. The results are presented in a prestigious journal article by Deere et al. 2021. Of course, there are more research topics in this area. And complete understanding of our Nusantara is still a central issue, including the one related to astronomical observations. Hopefully, we will have a new observatory in Kupang, in the eastern part of Indonesia, and we can use that kind of observatory to conduct like a frontier observation. Many efforts have, of course, there are still some unknowns to the field. Here is some example of our current work on the characterization of the Mau National Observatory using a very limited in situ data. We rely on 2-year sky brightness data we obtain on site to obtain some key parameters. Based on a bit complicated analysis, we obtain extinction coefficient and also the available observing time, or we call it AOT, which can be mapped such that we get a clearer picture on which segment of the sky we have access to. And this map can be considered in the planning of some future observation or survey programs. And it will be very important. It will be essential work to consider that, to consider what we can do with the telescope equipped with optical and near-infrared cameras in the future. And other future works include the characterization of the Mau site in terms of weather parameters, atmospheric stability, and also the amount of precipitable water vapor, or PWV, need to be understood. Some are more important for near-infrared observation, so we need to collect more data, analyze more data, and firmly conclude something relevant. So we plan to use satellite data or assimilated models to perform such analysis. Cloud-based computing platforms such as Google Earth Engine can be our working horse for this purpose. So if you are interested working with very big data, yeah, one of the research topics we can do is characterizations like this. The next topic is relevant to the growing population of space debris. In brief, we aim to estimate the time and the place of space debris re-entry such that its risk can be minimized. We can use a numerical, semi-analytical, analytical, and even statistical approaches to get the estimates. These figures are from our research in 2020 or 2021, we we reconstruct some semi-analytical model to estimate the time and place of reentry, considering the variability of space weather characteristics. And this year, I use machine learning to explore the possibility of reentry of a certain space object. But if you are more interested in plasma physics and its relationship to the material and electronics of the spacecraft, then this research area will be cool for you. Identification of satellite malfunction and the cause of it is a challenging task. The condition of space environment during the event needs to be summarized. Mitigating the risk will be the next task. Modeling particles in the cell can be part of this task. So if you are interested in this kind of research, you can contact Dr. Nisan Ahmad for further information. Next, Astronomy for Society menu contains a research on how astronomical phenomena may affect the tidal inundation, especially on the north coast of Java. Led by Professor Thomas Jamaluddin, this research checks on any empirical relationship between sun, earth, moon configuration to the patterns of inundation or flooding. Interesting, isn't it? And recently, a new opportunity is open. Dr. Mark Bullock from the Southwest Research Institute in Colorado, US, visited Indonesia for Pluto occultation observations, and he then offered a collection of Venus images obtained using NASA infrared telescope facility to play with it. So we can have access to those kind of data, and maybe we can find something interesting. But at this moment, I don't have a clear idea of what we can discover from this data. But it is obvious that we can start with a literature review, what we need to understand, what the astronomers, the planetary scientists have understood, and then what kind of frontier we have, and then maybe we can choose some pattern recognitions to the data, and also from the modeling side, we can use like a global circulation models to model the Venus atmosphere. So that's all I can say at this moment. I'm pretty sure that the minds of my colleagues are more stuffed with excellent research ideas than what I am presenting here. So it is likely that I missed many points. But in general, we are offering ideas, knowledge and expertise, data to play with, some limited resources, which doesn't always mean money. Okay, resources can be time, access to like a discussion with our experts and etc. And also you are offered with access to our facilities. So if you are interested to join our internship programs, then feel free to contact us. Actually, there are a couple of channels you can take. Normally, we have a short-term internship. So some universities has like what's it? Practical courses for its students. So we can provide like a 1 to 2 months short-term internship. We provide like a mentoring and so on. And then recently we also have a Merdeka Belajar Campus Merdeka or MPKM program. It can be a bit more extended. It can be one term, 6 months or so. And considering that long-term involvement, then maybe the activity, the internship can be more fruitful. If you have finished like your dissertation or thesis project, then you can consider applying for research assistance. It can be a 1-year contract with us with targeted output. And then there is also a special scholarship for the end-year students. If you have a good idea and you need some funding for your research, you need scholarship to like a tuition fee or something, you can apply for this kind of scholarship. So for further info, please check our sites, elsa.brin.go.id or managementtalenta.brin.go.id. And feel free to contact me if you have any question regarding these presentations. Okay, I think that's all. Thank you for your attention. Hopefully I can still joining the discussion. And okay, thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Okay. So thank you for the video. Actually, Dr. Rhorom now is in the Europe, so it is really appreciate that he can join with us today because it is still early morning. Maybe it's still dark in the Europe now. Okay, so now we will have a question and answer session. There is one question. Hello, regarding BRIN researchers, will the contact Farah Najla? Okay, maybe as Dr. Rifki and Dr. Rhorom present to you before, you can either ask Dr. Rifki or Dr. Rhorom or even me. It's okay, it's up to you. And you can maybe see the presentation from Dr. Rifki and Dr. Rhorom. It's already clear. Is there another question maybe? Okay, so there is a question from Dr. Luki. Is there any program for international students to be involved in BRIN research? Okay, maybe Dr. Rifki or Dr. Rhorom can try to answer it.
Hello, Dr. Ibnu.
Oh yeah.
I'd like to provide a brief answer to that question. So actually, now BRIN has several programs like visiting research program. So we really encourage like a postgraduate researcher to join with us for like a short-term research visit to our facility or our office, and then we do some research collaboration on that with a specific targeted output, and we can pay for that visit, especially for the accommodation things. I think that's a brief answer from me. Maybe Dr. Rifki has some more elaboration.
Okay, thank you. I think it's already answered by Dr. Rhorom. For now, at BRIN, we still don't have like exchange students for undergraduates or for undergraduates still doesn't have funding facilities, but for the postgraduates like visiting researchers but visiting researchers not student after, so it should be like professors or researchers. And postdoc, there is only two funding scheme from the management talenta, and it can be used for the foreigners. And also there is a scheme for like matching funding, like some people going here and some people going abroad for short-term visit, but it should be like has matching funding. For example, they for the abroad side, for the foreigner side, they can invite us with their funding, but in respective of that, we can invite the professors or students by the BRIN's fundings. So it should be like matching funding like that. I think that's my answer, complementing the Dr. Rhorom answer.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Rifki, for the answer. So is there any other question? So as Dr. Rifki and Dr. Rhorom said, there is a bunch of program that you can use for doing the research in BRIN, either when you are in the position of the student, or maybe you already graduated from doctoral degree. You can also join us with the postdoctoral scheme, and maybe for the visiting professor also. Okay, so is there any question again? If not, maybe I will have a question for Dr. Rifki and Dr. Rhorom. For Dr. Rifki, you said to us there is a possibility to join the funding, to apply to the funding. Is it hard to get the funding from BRIN for the external external people? I mean, outside the BRIN itself.
So for the funding provided by Deputi Fasilitasi, the chance are same for the internal BRIN or external BRIN, but the collaboration are encouraged. So better to have people from BRIN and also people from outside BRIN in one proposal. Even if there is some foreign entity, it's also encouraged, especially when you applied for pusat kolaborasi riset. Then it would be a great good point or in the proposal. So better to things now whether for I think astronomy is kind of like basic science and should be like what do you call it, avant-garde science, and if you can make a good proposal in especially in the limited topics, and but in you can offer what kind of contribution you can offer, and also match the funding criteria. I think the possibility are there, because the selection only has like 4 steps. The first one is administrations. So don't forget about administration. It's this important one. For example, should be signed by those who has authority for the proposal. For example, directors of the research center or dean of the faculties, something like that. If you don't have their signatures, then your proposal will be rejected at the first step. And then the proposal should be according to the format. So don't write your proposal in slide, for example, or especially for the budget plan. There is a format for every funding. What can be used and what cannot be used, and you should agree with that condition. If not, then will be rejected in the first phase. So it is important to understand the scheme and also writing the proposal according to the manuals or to the templates. The second criteria, as the second phase, is about the contents of the proposal. Usually they will see the backgrounds or the track records of the PI, whether he already or she already doing the research on these fields, and what is he or she hers or his publications, for example. And then is it so if it is a basic science, is it recent topics or hot topics in that field? If it is like near on the commercializations, whether the research can support commercializations. So it is now like so when we doing research, actually can be any area, and can not every research should be commercialization. But if you do some basic research, then in the proposal you should give the information what kind of contribution that you will offer to the community. And then the third step are review on the budget. Okay. After you pass on the first and the second, actually it's already accepted, as long as you just follow the budget criteria from BRIN. If you're not following, then you will be rejected on the proposal. So it's for the funding and the facility, the deputy of facility, it's quite competitive, but everything is doing on the competitive base. So if you do good research and do something new, or you have some kind of innovations, or what do you call it? kebaruan ya, new innovation, then high probably will be accepted.
Okay.
So it would be competitive based, but it's good for our research environment because research actually competitive based everywhere.
Yeah.
So I think it is don't be discouraged if your proposal are being rejected. Just evaluate what should be improved, or maybe we can add some new collaboration and so on. So collaboration also now is like we at BRIN are encouraged. Don't do it by yourself because we have limited knowledge also as individual. But if we want to tackle like a big issue, for example, in the field of astronomy, we just like you want to do something, maybe contribution in the field of specific topics at astronomy, but it is a global standard. Then you need some expert on the computation, some expert from on that field, and if we join together and create a proposal, is high probable will be accepted.
Okay.
So, don't be discouraged by the competitiveness, but we are doing we are should prepare, and I think if we do standard research, then it would be high probable for us. I think that's my answer. Ibnu.
Okay, thank you for the answer. There is another question from Farah Najla. After HPC ends, which means this workshop, can we still access BRIN's HPC? Maybe Dr. Rifki can answer. I think Farah Najla is a student, right? No.
You can access the BRIN's HPC by applying the account by Elsa, because HPC BRIN are intended to provide computing infrastructures for research only. So if you have research on the astronomy and it requires computing infrastructures, just apply at Elsa BRIN, and then we can give the account, and you can use it for your research. So the account for this conference would be ended, but you can continue to use HPC BRIN in terms of research.
Okay, so if you have a difficulty to access ELSA or to subscribe for the HPC, yeah, you can also, maybe you can ask directly, right, Dr. Rifki or myself, or assist you to fill the form, etc. Okay, so you need to because for our workshop we only have a limited account, right, Dr. Rifki? I mean, it's a special account, so actually it is only used for this workshop. So after that, you need to subscribe the HPC by yourself. Okay, thank you for the question and answer. So maybe I will also ask Dr. Rhorom concerning the research in Research Center for Space. As we already know, there will be new telescopes installed in the Kupang next year of the regulation. that we need to apply the job for this telescope? I mean, is it also necessary to use to access this telescope, or I don't know? Is a telescope it opens for astronomer outside Indonesia?
Yes, actually, the fixed regulation is not yet established for the use of that kind of telescope. So if you have a good idea, then just prepare a proposal. If you have a collaborator abroad or colleagues from international organization, then just keep in touch with them. We still open for any idea. Just find the way to contact us. So in brief, the regulation is not fixed yet.
Okay.
Any idea will be even if it is simple, but it has a potential impact, then it absolutely will be accepted.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the telescope will open to the outside from Indonesia also. I mean, for another country, is it possible for astronomer for another country use this telescope?
Yes, in my mind, for the first years the operation of this telescope, we will not open. I mean, we will not like promoting the use of this telescope for international collaboration. We need to like a kind of a close call of proposal, if you know what I mean. We will not promote actively, but if there is some colleagues from other countries willing to use the opportunity of the new observatory, then we still open.
Okay. Thank you for a nice answer. So is there any other question? I will see in YouTube. Okay. No question. Okay, so maybe we will end this session now. So for the presentation, it will be held in this afternoon. So you still have time to prepare your presentation. Okay, so there will be the prize, right, if I remember correctly. So try your best to do the presentation. And after this session, we will have a break for lunch and doing Friday prayer maybe. Okay. So thank you very much for attending this session. And for the last part, we will have a photo session. Please open your camera.
Okay. The participants, you can start opening your video. And I will start taking pictures. Okay. Pose 1, 2, 3. Okay, second one, 1, 2, 3. And last one, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you everybody. See you in the afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Rifki and Dr. Rhorom, for the nice talk.
Yes, thanks to the organizers and participants. I